And welcome back to the ranch again. As you can see, I got the distributor back in place, and when I first put it in, I just kind of did a little rough setting there, getting it timed to number 1, top dead center, and then I fine-tuned it after that when I got my timing light from work, and I wasn't too far off. I think I was just a little after top dead center when I first fired it up, and then got it adjusted after that. And with my timing light, I can it's a little bit fancier when I can change with the buttons here back and forth there of how many degrees I can watch it advance or retard, and it'll bring the light back, or bring the pin back to 0 with the light flashing, and I can see how many degrees it is. And I had it about 15 degrees from what I could tell, and then when I'd idle back down, it would come back to about 1 where it's supposed to be. But the problem was that it still ran really rich and was still kind of popping and backfiring a little bit, and so it kind of clouded up in here pretty good in the shop, and I didn't really like that. This thing shouldn't be running that bad. So anyway, I figured I'd look at the maintenance of the air filter and see how that looked. So I was going to check some other stuff too. So I pulled all the hood and everything off, but the oil bath bowl for the air filter here, oil's pretty dark, smelled a lot like gas, and there's a lot of scum in the bottom. And then one of the screens that goes in that way, that's got a lot of film scum on that as well. I'm gonna have to get that cleaned out. So that wasn't the main problem though. So I figured, looking at stuff here, got my access to the fuel filters, so I'll get the inline of that one changed, and then this one here changed out later on. But the valve cover was leaking oil around up in this area here, so I figured, well, it needs to get fixed, so I knocked it off. Look at the valves and see how far off they are, and why aren't we focusing here? Anyway, when I started checking here, I could see I was going to need a yardstick to measure the valve lash in here, because they were really loose. They're supposed to be only 20 thousandths, and that's a lot, and they're almost all that way. Even the shaft here wiggles a lot. Let's see if I can get it. Kind of hard to tell on the video screen here, but you can hear it how much it wiggles there. But so there's something going on there that I'm not too impressed with. Especially when the outside valve moves like that. It shouldn't be doing that either. So I got to see what's missing, or what's going on. Also, I noticed there was a couple of these pieces laying in there, and what that is from the rotator on the exhaust valve here. There's a pieces coming out of there, and where you can see the light shine just above my fingernail going around this way, that's where they belong. That rest of that is still in here coming around this way, so that's coming apart. And I think it was on this one, there was a crack line in there, so there might be one coming loose from there too. And but I'm sure, just like on my 504, you can't get these anymore, I'm sure. In fact, these British gas engines are kind of a rare thing anyway, and just because they made more of the diesels than they did of the gas engine. So we got some issues to address here, and I don't think we'll do anything with the valves just yet. So Randy, if you're watching there, just so you know what's going on, and whether you do something later on down the road, that's up to you, I guess, or maybe you want to get rid of this thing, I don't know. But that'll be your call. I'm just going to try and get it running decent, and so, but for the fun of it though, I did check what that valve lash was. It's supposed to be 20 thousandths, and I stuck that whole set in there, and it's about 120 thousandths. So that's a pretty significant gap. And so yeah, I would think it'd run a lot better once we get that all adjusted and it can get the air moving like it's supposed to. Hopefully that cam isn't so shot. I'll probably measure that and see what the lobe lift is, and so we can get an idea what condition the camshaft is in. But yeah, it should run a little better if it can get the valves opening the way they should, and then it might not run so rich and want to be popping out the intake. So anyway, that's what we got going on so far, and along with the other list of things Randy wanted me to check. And so yeah, we got quite a bit to do here. So anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.